Hello. I almost forgot I was going to make pasta. So I'm going to warm the sauce up. And I got the oven on for some homemade garlic bread. So good. All right. Now, I make the homemade noodle recipe out of what my husband calls the Betty Crocker, but it's actually the Better Homes. Better Home and Garden. Yeah. All right, we've got 2 cups of flour in a bowl. Boom. We have mixed dried basil, marjoram, sage. Crushed is optional. What I did was I have a homemade Italian seasoning mixture, and I actually put about 3 teaspoons in the flour because it has turmeric in it, and that is great for inflammation. All right, and then it says a half a teaspoon of salt. All right, I have a teaspoon. A half a teaspoon salt. All right, and we're just going to mix it together. I apologize about the screen. It is what it is. It's the position of the position. All right, so I have my herb flour here. Now I need make a well in the center. The flour mixture in a small bowl. Combine eggs, water, and oil. Add egg mixture to flour mixture and combine. All right, there. Now you know what I know. All right, so I have my 2 eggs. I have 1/3 of a cup of water. And then I have 1 teaspoon of oil. So I will use olive oil. I have my eggshells on my plate for compost. Not like you need to know that, but I'm sharing. I never get to use this. Look at me go. It's amazing. All right. We're going to move the salt. We're going to move these containers. We're going to move this because I might get a little messy. The recipe calls for 2 1/3 cup of flour. I always have a small container that my hand can reach inside to get flour when it comes to kneading. All right. So it says add egg mixture to flour mixture and stir to combine. All right, I suppose we're done with this little guy. Egg mixture to flour mixture. And we're going to stir to combine. This is basically the same way I do my flour dough. I just kind of use my fingers as like a mixing beater, I guess. And then it will all start to pull together. And then it'll pull away from the side. I've only made homemade pasta like, this is the maybe 3rd or 4th time in my life. All right, and then it says sprinkle a clean kneading surface with the remaining 1/3 of a cup of flour. Turn dough onto the floured surface. All right, let me get the dough all together. Listen to my oven, it just kicked on. All right. Let me wash my hands. I know they're still going to get doughy, but I have to get some of the initial dough off. All right, we're going to sprinkle and then we're going to knead for 10 minutes. Then we'll come back to the book. We're going to just sprinkle our surface. And that is way less than 1/3 of a cup of flour on the board. Yeah, I don't like to add all of the flour at once because it depends on the atmosphere that you're in, their barometric pressure, how much moisture is in the air, to how much moisture you're going to actually need in your dough. Hey Google, set a timer for 8 minutes. And that's starting now. Let me, flip you up here. Yep, 8 minutes. All right, so we're just going to knead the dough. Got a brand new watch today. I'm kind of excited. It matches the color of my hair, and here I am doughing. All right, when our board gets a little dry, we just now you need your dough however you need your dough. We're just building up gluten right now. A lot of people pull it, bring it to them. Let me take my bracelet off. See, as the board starts to, the dough catches all of the flour, it lifts it off of the board. And that's when you just spread a little bit more around. Yeah. Then you can see as your board dries up, you just reach into your other surface and you just sprinkle out the flour. And we're 4 minutes into our 8-minute knead. And you basically want your dough to start to have a smooth, which you can't really see right now because of all the flour on it. Because as you're kneading, what you're doing is you're just adding a little bit more flour at a time, and it just mixes it in with the dough. Oh, it smells wonderful. You see, as it kind of gets a little sticky looking, and you just add more flour. Now, I have not used the whole 1/3 of a cup, it says, because I'm going by feel for the dough. because we're going to have to, after we knead it, we'll have to let it set. And then we'll divide it into 4s. And we'll roll those balls into small little balls. And we'll let those set for about 20 minutes. But see, it's starting to have like a little bit of a Play-Doh kind of consistency to it. If you can see. And this is excellent for your hands if you have any kind of joint pain and you want to get in there and just work it out. Go make you some dough. And you can totally tell. See, right now the dough is starting to get super malleable. And it's really kind of, I mean, it's not going to become like super smooth because we have, I mean, you can see the spices and herbs that are inside the dough. All right, we are coming up on the minute mark. And let's see, our dough has kind of gotten like a smooth consistency to it. All right, so then we're going to take this and we're going to just let it rest. Hey, Google, stop. All right, so now it says cover and let dough rest for 10 minutes. Let's let the dough rest. All right, since we have 6 minutes left while the dough rests the first time, let's see what else the book says. All right, let's see what the book says. How you like my handy dandy book holder? Is that not just awesome? Let me see. It's just 2 pieces of wood chained together. Whittled. Would you whittle wood? I would whittle. I would whittle wood. All right, so we're going to let it rest for 10 minutes. Then we're going to divide the dough into 4 equal portions on a lightly floured kneading surface. Roll out each dough portion into 12-inch strips about 1/16 inch thick. Let it stand uncovered for about 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah, that'll be about right. And then when my husband gets here, I can throw it on there and cook it up. And it'll be great. All right, it says let stand uncovered for 20 minutes. Cut as so desired, shape into whatever. I do have a pasta machine, but I find something really, the experience of kneading dough, taking something that was dry and several ingredients and then combining it together and making something nutritious is amazingly awesome magic. It is. My magic, I see magic in everything that I do. I try to make my Italian seasonings. I bless all the herbs when I mix them in together. You know, all that cool witchy stuff. Store cut pasta, hang it to dry from a pasta drying rack. You know, I've also come to find out that those wooden Amish clothes drying racks work really awesome for pasta. I won't be needing it today because we're going to be making the pasta and eating it fresh. Let's see, let pasta dry overnight or until completely dry. Place in an airtight container and chill for up to 3 days. Or dry pasta for at least 1 hour. Place in freezer bag and freeze in container up to 8 months. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take this. We have 3 minutes and 21 seconds left. Then we're going to cut that into 4 ball-sized shapes. Then we're going to separate it. Then we're going to roll it out. Now we're going to separate it. We're going to let it set for 20 minutes more. And then we'll roll it out. Yeah. That's what we do. So, I'll see you then. I must say, there is nothing like wearing black when you're working with flour, because I'm the type of person I can't help but go, that's just how I am. That's just how I am. All right, I'm back. Let's see what we can do with our dough. Let me get a rolling pin. We're going to get a little bit of flour. It says to roll it out into squares, so I am going to kind of make some little square shapes. I'm going to get a plate to set these on because I'm going to need my whole entire space. And we're just going to cover these guys back up. Boom. And we're going to just set them out of the way. Then you just roll the dough out. I always start from the center and roll out like I'm doing a pie crust. This was a little bit too much dough. and just makes one huge noodle. This is excellent. The very first time I ever made homemade noodles was I made a lasagna because it had big wide noodles. And I was like, well, that right there is awesome. Big wide noodles, you couldn't mess it up. And the thing when you make homemade noodles, the thickness, you can make it thick like a dumpling, or you can just keep working it and just keep rolling it out. And just keep rolling it out. And then when you get it out as big as you want it, you just cut it to the size of the noodle that you want. My husband, he rolls them. Let me show you. He'll roll his dough like this, and then you can cut it like so, and then you just unroll it. But I find that that's just a bit of a pain in the rear. So there you go. And then we're just going to take our noodles and we'll just set them aside. Then we'll get another dough ball. Let me find something. I'm looking for something. I found something. These are awesome bowls. I found these at Walmart. They're great. They're like plates with sides. And just put your noodle right in there. And just let it be. And just work the dough. Look at the elasticity that is made. The glutens have formed. Now, I suppose you can make this wheat if you have a gluten intolerance. You can make this noodle with just about any kind of flour that you make. I mean, if you use like a coconut flour, I suppose. I mean, if you can make a dough and make a bread out of it, you can make a dough and make a noodle out of it. I think I need to put that someplace cooler. I had it over there on the opposite side. And that's where the gas oven is. And I just took the garlic bread out of the oven. Now, you want to get your noodles as thin as you can because they kind of plump when you cook them. So you don't want to make it too big. Oops, gotta put a little more flour on the board. Let me... This handy dandy little fellow is actually a dough knife. And it will pick up all the little bits and particles off of your board. That's kind of like a linguine or a fettuccine noodle there. Well, it was for a hot minute. And you can sprinkle a little flour on there, and that way that'll kind of assure them from sticking together. And when you are making homemade noodles, they don't take but like that fast to cook. But anywho, there you go. There's my homemade noodles. Good piece to you, and I'll see you later. Bye.